Now, before we jump into specific guides and workflows, there is one other thing I need to make you aware of that can be a little confusing. So let's go to the main menu and click Guides. Now, you're going to see a section once you start working with workflows. It's going to say Started Workflows. If you've never used a workflow, this menu won't exist. But once you start a workflow, and should you not complete it, then it's going to be placed here under Started Workflows. This is really important to understand because if you start one and you've lost it, this is where you want to go. That's why it's so important as we go back to our original video on how to name documents. It's critical that you always name a document after the passage you're studying. If you're studying a topic, then make sure that topic is real easy to remember and very reflective of what you're studying. So when you create workflows and you do not complete them, look here under the Started Workflow. Now I'm going to click on this first one, Basic Bible Study Ephesians 2:8. You most likely do not have this. I'm going to click it, and it literally opens up the document and picks up where you left off. If you remember from a previous video, we had typed in some notes, and there they are, right in section 1, exactly where we left off. So let's go ahead and click on X to close this window. Now let's take a look at the rest of the menus. We then have the workflow section. If we click and expand that, here are all the workflows that are available to you. Now, depending on your version of Logos, this list may be identical or different. Some of these you can get at the Logos website. So here we are at the LearnLogos.com website. I'm going to click in the search box at the right, and I'm going to type in workflow. Now, if you scroll down, you're going to see that Logos has some free workflows that you can get from the store. So I recommend checking this now and then. It's a great way to download some free workflows that you may find helpful for your personal Bible study. Let's go ahead and close this window and return back to Logos. Let's click Guides. I'm going to click and collapse Workflows. Now notice there's our custom workflows. We've looked at that in the previous video. Again, those are workflows that someone else created and shared those with you, or they're workflows you've created yourself. Then we have the guides. These are the standard guides that are included in most Logos Bible software collections. We have custom guides, which again are downloaded from the public section or you created them. Then there's these categories of guides that are very important to be aware of. For example, Bible reference guides are specific sections from various guides where you'll enter a Bible verse and it will generate information related to that topic. So if we were looking, let's say, at atlases, we could click on Atlas, and I'll do so for this example. Notice it says reference, so I'll put in Acts chapter 2, and now the Atlas section will generate maps based on my passage. So what's really important about this is these are the sections within various guides. Let's click the X and close this tab right here. Now let's click on Guides and return. Now under Bible Reference Guides is Topic Guides. Let's click and expand this. Notice that some of these sections are identical, but remember it's Topic Guides. So let's click on Atlas again. Notice we're not typing a verse in the box at the top left. Instead, it's asking us for a topic. So we could type in Jerusalem and press Enter. And now it's going to find maps related to Jerusalem based on the topic. Let's go ahead and click on X to close this window. Next, let's click Guides to return to our menu. Under Topic Guides is Word Guides. Let's click and expand that. So these are various sections from various guides where the input is driven by a word. So if you look at these, we can see why it's word-driven. We have the lemma, Hebrew, Greek words, etc. These all require words. They might be English, they might be Greek, Hebrew, or another language. Let's click on Guides to collapse that. Under Word Guides is Sermon Theme Guides. Let's click and expand that. Now again, these are sections from the sermon guides, and therefore we can click on these. It'll gather information for us. Now we don't have Atlas this time, but let's choose Faith Life Media. Now look at the search box at the top left. It's not a verse, it's not a topic, it's a preaching theme. Now between you and me, sometimes the preaching theme and topic are almost identical. But let's type in a preaching theme of love. Wait for the drop-down menu. Look at the menu choices. It's got that little pulpit icon. So these are preaching themes that Logos has identified. You can use those preaching themes. I'm going to click on love. And now I'm going to look at Faith Life Media linked to the preaching theme of love. You can see those in there. Let's go ahead and click on the X to close this window. Let's go back to the Guides menu by clicking Guides. Now under Sermon Theme Guides is Theology Guides. Let's click that. Notice there's not that many there. Let's click on Systematic Theologies. Look at the top left. It's a theological topic. So let's type in justification. Notice that we're choosing from theological topic tags that Logos has identified. So we can look at justification, the nature and timing of justification. Let's choose the nature of justification from the menu. And now we're looking at all our systematic theologies that have been tagged with this particular theme. This is a wonderful way to look at the information. Now, if we left click and expand the border to the right, we get the view options. Currently, we've selected rank, but we could click on by resource and now see the specific systematic theology that was chosen. Notice that sometimes you can click more and therefore get more search results, and you can also click search all systematic theologies. Now, many times that will result in the same identical list, but not always. Let's click on by resource and take a look. And as you can see, there's quite a handful more search results. And that's due to the way Logos runs the search and gathers the information. Let's go ahead and click on X on each tab to close it. And then click on Guides to return to our menu. Under Theology Guides is the Counseling Guides. Notice that this has been expanding as Logos continues to invest in this particular guide. We can look at the whole guide or sections from that guide. Let's click on Passages. Notice, again, we're searching this time on counseling topic. If I was to type in anger, look at the drop-down menu. There's a little leaf icon to tell you that this is a counseling tag that we're searching on. Click on that, and now we can see passages that Logos has tagged with the counseling topic, anger. Let's click on the X to close this tab. Next, click Guides, and let's look at the last item, completed workflows. It's kind of interesting how Logos has bookended this whole menu. First with started workflows, and then it ends with completed workflows. So if you have completed a workflow and you want to revisit it, this is a great place to look. Well, that's a quick overview of the Guides menu in detail. We're going to take a look at some individual guides in future training videos.